Woodsy by Michael G.R. Tolkein. Narrated by Steve Miller. Author's Preface. This tale is freely based on Hilda Adshead's The Idle Fairy, illustrated by Anne Rochester, published in 1926 as part of Warren & Company's Welcome series for young children. Recently, I read it again out of curiosity since every now and again, quite by chance, I'm reminded of something in the story. I realized then that like so many other well-told tales, it leaves the reader room for further exploration or another slant on what is actually encountered. My mother read it to us in her gentle, deadpan, authoritative style, which I can still hear if I listen carefully. The 1930 copy I inherited is now a forgotten and rare book. Since source material is undoubtedly a product of its time, the children, Harry and Mabel, are cared for by an all-purpose nanny, tutored at home, subject to formal routines and disciplines, and strictly applied sanctions. Their parents are shadowy figures who seldom feature in their daily lives. Into this smoothly run upper-middle-class home comes Biddlekin, a kind of naughty boy derivative from Eleanor Farjon's Tribe of Flower Fairies, complete with neat tunic and wings. He hopes to take refuge from being out in the cold, where he is both literally and socially. He has gallivanted his way through summer, skipped lessons, and cannot face being forced to apply himself throughout the underground winter festivities. The children's excitement over encountering a fairy figure is soon reversed when they find themselves saddled with a selfish, spoiled brat, who, when thwarted, is spiteful, destructive, and not in the least concerned that they have to take the blame for his antics. While young readers' sympathies are tilted in favor of decent standards and good order, the perverse Biddlekin is someone they can relate to, and there's a lot for them to enjoy in the disruption and in the adventures of the idle visitor, who gets more than he bargains for in his supposedly cozy winter quarters. And not content with making demands on the children, who lose patience with him, he recruits a widowed mouse to look after his needs, until a cowardly failure to rescue one of her children from a cat makes her round on him fiercely as unworthy of his tribe. Shouldn't he know how to protect small creatures? So here is the fairy figure out of place in a human household, learning the hard way that he must return to his own kind and adapt to their disciplines. But once he has achieved this, he returns stealthily and tactfully to repair some of the destruction brought about by his malicious abuse of transformation spells that he had not learned how to reverse. I follow the pattern of this narrative with its neat and entertaining plot, though I have written in a way that would appeal to a slightly older age group than the original, and hopefully to adult readers as they read it to their children. In line with this, I have developed the characters of my children, John and Lisa, who are several years older than Harry and Mabel, rather more streetwise and recognizably contemporary, though no less excited by a small intruder who promises to wield special powers. And while the visiting fairy has many of the character traits of Biddlekin, his background is more specific and complex. I avoid the term fairy except where human characters use it for want of a better word. Although Hilda Adshead implies that her fairies are at best industrious and purposeful, and that a dropout is the exception, the word has become associated with diaphanously winged miniature creatures, sentimentally presented as ornamental, mischievous, or wayward. I have gone back to an earlier concept of fairy, a world running parallel with our own and rarely encountered by humans. Its beings, though not subject to our physical limitations, are often intimately concerned with the creative and cyclic processes of the natural world, and when encountered they appear to be larger than life and filled with a multidimensional insight beyond our capacity. Woodsies, as explained in Chapter 1, are a branch of this race of beings with a specific folklore identity and a corresponding behavior pattern and purpose. Leaflag, the renegade Woodsy, shares Biddlekin's fear, stupidity, and arrogance, but these are made more palpable by my version. Both have stepped badly out of line, first by failing to prepare for the tasks of their tribe's calling, and secondly by coming into contact with humans, not for a serious, mature purpose, but because their foolish behavior has left them stranded and with few other choices.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?